Hello everyone and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled for today's explainer because we are tackling what is easily one of the most practical, immediately rewarding parts of learning Japanese. We're talking about numbers and counting. Now, if you're studying for the JLPT N5 or even if you're just planning your dream trip to Japan, mastering numbers, money, and quantities is your absolute survival kit. Today, we're not just, memorizing dry lists. We are going on a shopper's journey. We're going to take these foundational vocabulary words and turn them into the exact tools you need to survive and really thrive while shopping and dining out in Japan. Okay, let's dive right into this.
Now, if you've ever taken a peek at the official JLPT N5 vocabulary lists, you've probably encountered a massive wall of text just like this. It's over 800 words, with a huge chunk completely dedicated just to numbers, dates, and these notoriously tricky things called counters. I know, it looks completely overwhelming, but seriously, do not panic. We are going to break this down logically. By the end of this explainer, you're going to see exactly how these pieces fit together like a beautifully designed puzzle.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the basics, numbers 1 through 10. Next, big numbers and yen. Then, asking for the price. After that, we'll unlock the generic counter, 2. And finally, sound changes and the sokuon rules. Let's get to it!
Section 1. The basics, numbers 1 through 10. These are the core building blocks of counting, our very first stop on the shopper's journey. Notice how elegant and incredibly visual the Japanese number system is. Just look at the kanji for those first 3 numbers. 1, 2, and 3 are literally just 1, 2, and 3 horizontal lines. Ichi, ni, san. It's brilliant. Then we have 4, which can be read as yon or shi, 5 is go, 6 is roku, and 7 is nana or shichi. 8 is hachi, 9 is ku, and 10 is that simple, perfect cross, ju. The JLPT N5 does require you to know these kanji, and honestly, once you lock in these basic 10 sounds, you hold the keys to the entire kingdom of Japanese numbers.
Section 2. Big numbers and yen. It's time to scale up. Because, let's be real, if you want to actually pay for an amazing sushi dinner in Tokyo, counting to 10 isn't really going to cut it, right?
Our first major upgrade is 100. The kanji is pronounced hyaku. So if something is 200, it's simply 200 nihaku. Very logical, very straightforward. Next up, we step to 1,000. This is sen. Now 3,000 would be sanzen. Notice that tiny little sound change there? That's super common in Japanese. It just helps the words flow a bit better off the tongue.
Okay. Pay close attention, because this right here is a massive cognitive shift for English speakers. 10,000. The kanji is pronounced man. In English, we scale big numbers by the thousand, 10,000, 100,000, but the Japanese number system groups big numbers by the 10,000. So 10,000 isn't 10 1,000s, it is its very own base unit, ichiman. If you're shopping for electronics or paying rent in Japan, you are absolutely going to be thinking in man.
And this brilliantly illustrates how we turn those abstract numbers into actual money. On one side, we just have ichiman, plain old 10,000. To make it a price, we simply add the currency counter for yen, pronounced en. You put them together, and you get ichiman en, 10,000 yen. It's a super simple formula, just the number plus the counter.
Section 3. Asking for the price. Now that you are armed with your numbers and your currency, let's step into a store.
If you memorize only one phrase from this entire explainer, please make it this one. Kore wa ikura desu ka? Kore simply means this, and ikura is the question word for how much. You just point at a souvenir, look at the shopkeeper, and ask, Kore wa ikura desu ka? It's perfectly polite, incredibly direct, and absolutely vital for the JLPT N5 listening comprehension section. And when you've finished up a delicious meal at a restaurant and you're finally ready to pay, you need this exact phrase, okaike onegaishimasu, which means, check please. Now, our sources point out that while you might hear more casual phrases like o iso in some informal spots, okaike onegaishimasu is by far the most natural, straightforward, and polite way to ask for the bill. Zero risk of being misunderstood. Section 4. The generic counter. Tsu. This right here is a total beginner's lifesaver.
So, in English, we say 2 coffees or 3 shirts. But Japanese requires specific counter words depending on the shape and type of the object. But luckily, there's a brilliant built-in generic counter, tsu. When you don't know the specific counter for an object, you just use this native counting system. Now, unlike the logical ichi, ni, san, this list is highly irregular. Hitotsu, futotsu, mitsu, yotsu, itsumutsu, nanatsu, yatsu, kokonotsu, and to. You absolutely must memorize these for the N5. The one catch? This generic system only works for numbers 1 through 10. Anything above 10, you generally revert back to standard numbers.
So how do we actually use this in the real world? Imagine you're looking at a menu entirely in Japanese, and you have absolutely no idea how to read the dish. You simply point to the picture and say, "Kore o hitotsu onegai shimasu." One of this, please. Kore is this, hitotsu is one generic item, and onegai shimasu is please. It is literally the ultimate travel hack and a core piece of N5 grammar.
Section 5. Sound changes. The Sokuon rules. We have officially arrived at the pronunciation boss level. Let's demystify these tricky changes.
The secret to sounding totally natural in Japanese counting is understanding the Sokuon. The Sokuon is represented by that tiny little tsu character you see. When you spot it, it tells you to pause slightly and double the consonant sound that comes immediately after it. It's called gemination. It's exactly what gives spoken Japanese that distinct, rhythmic, bouncy feel.
The JLPT loves testing you on irregular readings, but the beautiful truth, they aren't random exceptions at all. It's actually a logical mathematical formula. Step 1. Take the numbers 1, 6, 8, or 10. Step 2. Combine them with any counterword that starts with a P, B, K, says, or T sound. Step 3. Boom, the Sokuon is triggered. You drop the end of the number and double the next consonant. Let's look at this in action. It's pretty cool.
Take the number 1, ichi, and let's use the counter for long, cylindrical objects like pens or bottles, which is han. Ichi plus han. Now, you do not say ichi han, because han starts with an H, which often transforms to a P sound in Japanese compounds. The rule triggers. It becomes ippon. Notice that strong double P sound, ippon.
And this just brilliantly illustrates how consistent the rule really is. Check out our 1, 6, 8, and 10 numbers applied to the han counter. 1 is ippon, 6 is ropon, 8 is happon, and 10 is jupon. Once you grasp this underlying phonetic formula, you don't have to blindly memorize hundreds of counter exceptions. You can just predict them.
Okay, let's put it all together to finish up our explainer today. I have a little challenge for you. You are in a Japanese supermarket. You want to buy 3 apples, you don't know the specific counter for apples, but you remember your lifesaver. You also see they cost 1,000 yen each. Think back to our formulas today. How do you politely ask the shopkeeper for 3 of those apples? You point and say, "Kore o mitsu onegai shimasu." Mitsu is the generic counter for 3. You've asked for 3 of this. And when the time comes to pay, you know that 3 times 1,000 is 3,000, which is sanzengen. You now have the vocabulary, the formulas, and the grammatical structure to confidently navigate numbers in Japan. But ask yourself this. What happens when you need to order 300 sheets of paper or, I don't know, count 5 small animals? The generic counter won't save you forever. To truly master Japanese, you'll eventually need to conquer the specific counters, but hey, that is a journey for another day. Keep practicing, and I'll catch you next time.